Hello everyone, Reshade here. So in this part we're going to be going over how to create a backup and how to compile a mod, how to install a mod, and also how to uninstall a mod of Dead Space Remake. If you are someone who is not a modder and you just want to know how to install a mod, you can skip to the specific timestamp in the video and how to install a mod, but I do recommend anyone watching the video to at least watch the backup part here, because I'm going to show something very important that can save you a lot of space and also explain why this is done. Anyways, I don't want to talk too much around the bush. So on the last part, we made this texture mod and we want to compile it. But before we do that, we will create a backup first. Now, we will of course go into our Dead Space installation folder. Let me just delete this, this shouldn't exist. And in here, you can create your backup of the files in theory anywhere you want, but I'm gonna make it right here, because it's just the most convenient place. And I'm going to open this as a separate window. And now we will go inside the data folder. Now I'm going to explain what we back up and copy paste. So we go and copy paste this, and we do not just simply copy paste the win33 folder. We actually create it. And as you can see in this data folder in Dead Space Remake, this is basically where almost the entire game is in, right? 36 gigabytes, as you can see. And here are all the files. Now the first things we will copy paste is everything except for streaming install. We will copy paste this, and now we're going to create the streaming install folder, and inside of here we're going to recreate these three folders that we see on the left, of course, in the original folder. Beyond default install package extra 1 and beyond default, beyond final install package. I hope I didn't make any typo, but who cares. Now in here you can see that these in these folders are the files with the biggest sizes, because this is usually where the game's main content, most of the content and assets actually are. We don't need to copy paste any of those, because when the editor compiles a mod, it will actually only add new files in here. It will not replace any of these CAS files, so we do not need to copy or save them. I personally, the reason why we created these folders still is I personally do still save these language folders, because I am not 100% sure if they ever get replaced, but just to be safe, I do also back them up in my backup folder, so I recommend you to do the same. It's not much. And once this is done, we have already finished creating a backup of Dead Space Remake. Alright, so now let's go ahead and compile and install our mod. So we can compile our mod by pressing the launch button in the editor right here on the top left, launch game with current project. Now when we click this, it's going to do its thing, and once you get this pop-up, you can read it, you press on OK, and now here you gotta, when Windows asks you for permissions, you say yes, but the next time we get asked for permissions, we actually press on no. And now what we will do is go inside Dead Space, mod data, go inside the Dead Space installation folder, and you will now find this folder called mod data. And in here, you will go inside editor, data, and delete these files so that we don't get that. We keep these folders here so that we don't get that new installation detected message. And now we launch it again. This is only something you have to do a single time and not anymore. And now every time we compile the mod, you only get a single pop-up of Windows asking you for permissions, and you always press no now. And when Steam pops up for this, you also press on no. Now the reason why we're doing this is very simple actually, and I'm gonna show an image right now. The reason why is because usually for other Frostbite engine games, the Frosty editor will try to launch the game with a launch argument, which I think it was called -data path, and then it would tell the engine of the game, right? It would tell the game to look for a different data folder for the game's content. And in there is our mod, which has been compiled right now. But the systematic links files, which are 0 kilobytes, they're just there to tell the system to explain it in a simple term. It's basically like acting as if the files are in there. It's doing a system link, telling the system to read all the unmodified normal files that we didn't mod from the normal data folder. And that would work, but unfortunately Dead Space Remake doesn't support launch arguments, so we have to do this whole work of manually installing and uninstalling the mods by ourselves. Either way, let's go ahead and now install the mod that we have compiled. So when we go to our Dead Space installation now, we see that a mod data folder has been created. And in here, we now only have the modified files. There's no annoying system link files, which don't work because we can't use the command line argument for Dead Space. And all the folders where there were no modified files, well, they still exist, but they're just empty, so absolutely no problem. You don't even need to delete them. And now, to install our mod, it's very simple. I would recommend opening the normal data folder in a separate folder. We just copy and paste it now in here. Okay, for some reason, since I've made a cut, the backup folder is gone. This is my bad, guys. Where the hell did I put my backup folder? Anyways, now it's back. So we just simply go ahead into the data and just copy paste this into the game and replace all files if Windows tells you to. Now our mod is installed in the game, and let's go ahead and launch the game. You will also see that the editor imported a crypt-based DLL. This is completely normal. You will need this to be able to play Dead Space with any mods at all. Don't delete this or anything, keep it here. So yeah, let's go ahead and see the result in game. Alright, there we go. We got purple guy Isaac. Guys, I think... Alright, so I just switched. I think I might have switched up a file or two, but it technically works. I think I replaced a file with the wrong texture, but as you can see, for the sake of the tutorial, it does work. But yeah, this is already a purple guy Isaac for real. But anyways, it works, and that is all that matters right now. Now, as for uninstalling a mod, it's very important to follow these steps carefully as well, and I will also mention an important thing about recompiling your mod in a minute, but first let's go ahead. So if you've been following this tutorial, you will have a backup folder, and if you haven't, then the first thing you want to do is verify integrity of the file. So you want to use Steam or whatever software you have, whatever launcher, not Dead Space 2008, whatever launcher you use for Dead Space Remake, you wanna get the original files back. But this process will not delete the files which have been created by the editor. Now, this is where I will show you something important. Now, if you do have a backup, very easy. You just go into data and replace it back, right? Copy paste it. Obviously, don't drag and drop, so you keep the backup. But now we have to delete the newly added files created by the mod, which don't delete themselves. So remember the whole hassle about streaming install, right? How we didn't back up these files? That's because they never get replaced. And at the bottom, you can pay attention to the date the file has been modified. If you have your mod compiled or installed or a mod installed, you will see that there should now be more than 62. You will have a file 63, 64, 65, blah, blah, blah. And in this first folder, you delete everything after 62. And in here, the second folder, you delete everything after 63. Make sure to pay attention to the date, right? And in the final folder, you delete everything after 44. you can see the difference quite easily. You can pay attention to the last original file in here will always be 567 kilobytes. And that is it for uninstalling your mod. Now, you have to do this every time you want to recompile a mod in the editor as well. If you're not a modder following the tutorial, you can click off now, but we have to do this step every time when we want to compile our mod, because if you do not delete your mod if you do not delete these extra files that were created in here and recompile your mod, it will add new CAS files on top of the existing modded files, and that will mess up the whole mod. Modding modded files, which is very wrong, shouldn't happen. So that is actually it for uninstalling a mod. As of the time of making this video, the editor actually got an update, but there's been no super significant changes. And the two major changes that should have been made do not work, so we'll see about that. Anyways, in the next video, I'm probably going to be going over how to modify Isaac's visor and rig color and all that. So we'll actually go into editing proper configuration and element types of files.